Good morning. It is 9:04 on a Wednesday morning. Let's call it World Series Wednesday, Game 7. What's up, Anthony?
What's going on, man?
Dude, what happened to the Astros last night?
No bueno. So everybody is complaining about Justin Verlander.
A little bit.
One of the best pitchers in the world, but he is not clutch at all in the World Series.
Man, no. And he doesn't have an opportunity to go out and prove himself again. Last night was the opportunity.
That was it. And we lost it in the second or third inning. Third inning, I think.
Yeah.
It was bad.
But they were looking good until, the back-to-back home runs, and there was some opportunities that the Astros didn't take advantage of, and the questionable play where they called interference.
It worked for us. Well, it didn't really work for us.
It did, but then it didn't.
It didn't.
Because the long delay, I feel like that it's Will Harris, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's been so I think they said 11 opportunities to go out and, pitch, and he hasn't had any runs scored on him. He's been a beast.
Till last night. And I think that long, drawn-out wait kind of goofed him over. I think tonight we're going to see every single pitcher that we have. If it's close, they're going to throw everybody.
Yeah, you got to. What's the order? What do you think? Because it's Greinke, right?
Yeah, it's going to be Greinke. Then it's going to be probably Cole. I don't think we'll see Verlander again. I hope not.
What about the dude from Mexico, the Hispanic guy, Urquidy?
Yeah, he'll be there. He'll be pitching tonight.
He was awesome.
He is. He's good.
He did some good work last time.
Nobody's as good as Cole right now. I mean, that guy's on fire, and we've got to figure out a way to keep him.
And get the bats going.
Yes, and get people off base.
Yeah.
That seems like to be the big issue is everybody's on staying on base.
Yeah, guys, you can't hang out on the bases. You got to get in. Either way, let's go Astros. I have faith. I don't know if I want to predict a score because
no, don't do it.
They need to score at least 5 runs. You got to score 5 runs.
An inning, at least.
In one inning. They're going to do it the first. If they don't score in the first inning, who knows if we'll see some runs again. But you got to get them on there quick.
But I know one thing is we're going to know how old Soto is, which is exciting.
Is he 20?
No, I think he's 21. And I think we're all in agreement that we all hate Joe Buck, which is good. Man, that guy.
You don't like Joe Buck, huh?
I'd never have.
Nobody likes Joe Buck.
New York fans do.
That's true. Soto probably likes Joe Buck.
Soto probably loves Joe Buck.
Man, do you like Joe Buck? If you're watching on Facebook,
and if you
sound
do,
off.
if you do, just sign off. Don't even sound off. Because I don't think anybody likes him, and if those guys are probably from out of town.
Yeah. I don't really hear the announcers. When I'm watching the game, it's like background noise.
How can you not hear him?
Because my kids are screaming.
Well, there's that.
My kids are throwing stuff at me, and they're just like, Daddy, Daddy. I'm like, okay, yeah. I'm trying to play with them. And
see, I'm that dad that just turns it all the way up.
Quiet. Go to the next room. Daddy's watching baseball.
No, River watches baseball. For the first 3 minutes, he screams just because he wants to watch Toy Story. And we're like, no, it's baseball time. So he's ecstatic that this is Game 7, I'm sure.
Oh, he's like, it's almost over. This is it.
Yeah.
All roads lead here.
Yeah,
man.
I'm just hoping everything works out. And
man, Brenda said, I can't stand Joe Buck.
Is that my mom?
Yes. Did you see the bingo?
Yes.
The Joe Buck bingo?
So, fun fact, there was a doctor at Memorial Hermann, I think it's a doctor, my wife will probably chime in on this, that made that, and then it went viral. He just wrote it on a piece of paper.
I saw the paper one.
And then somebody went out and made that, and she works with him over there.
Yeah, it's like Houston Astros Nation. It's like a fan page.
Yeah.
They, legit made it into a graphic, threw the logo on it.
Everything he says.
Yeah.
It's all a lie. Or not all a lie, all just crap that he says.
It's locked in, mention Soto's age. Defends Nationals pitcher or something.
Yesterday, I guess it was probably the 4th or 5th inning, Soto was coming up. All he said was 21. That was it. Nothing else. It was just 21. I know he's trolling everybody, but, man, it's bad. But, no, my mom, she doesn't even she watches the game, obviously. She doesn't listen to the sound.
Okay, she just turns it off.
She turns the sound off and watches the game.
Yeah.
Which is smart.
It is.
You can still hear Joe Buck probably talking.
A little bit. A little bit.
Like, 21.
To be fair to him, and I don't have much help around here at times, that, Joe Buck probably has a lot of help. Yeah. And so I'm guessing there's people and their job is to literally write on cards like this, 21.
Don't forget.
You need to remember that Joe Buck is 21, so they hand him a card and he's like, and Joe Buck, Soto is 21.
So he's a machine.
It's not his fault. He's just
a robot.
He's reading.
He's not.
I don't know.
He's not. He just sits there with John Smoltz and they talk about Aaron Judge and Soto.
How do you think Smoltz is doing on his announcing part? Yeah,
he's good.
He's good? I think he's good too.
He's all right. I'm not going to say he's great. I guess I'm biased, but the Astros announce team is amazing. I'll say that.
Hey, and we also have a poll that just got launched on our Facebook stream. If you are watching, who is going to win the World Series tonight? We have Houston Astros, the Washington Nationals, or Joe Buck.
It's probably Joe Buck.
Joe Buck wins either way. He goes home a winner.
Not even. They're just going to give everything to Soto.
Soto.
Yeah.
To be fair,
he's 21, by the way, guys.
Soto, man, he is kind of a beast of a player, though.
Yeah.
Dude, he's stepped up.
He's definitely the best one on that team. I don't know. There's a lot. They have a great team. Really good team. But that's what happens. I mean, you just drown somebody with one person, and fans start hating.
Gets annoyed. Plus, he does seem like he's cocky. But we also have Bregman, who was a little cocky last night too.
Because of him.
I guess so.
The whole bat handoff and everything.
The bat stuff. Man, it was an interesting situation. Hey, if you're watching on Facebook, feel free to share this out. Also, participate in the poll. Who's going to win the World Series? We got the Astros, Nationals, maybe Joe Buck.
Maybe.
I don't know. We're going to go ahead and go on the FM and try and spread some love and maybe not bash Buck.
No, we will.
Someone tag Joe Buck. Here we go. Good morning. This is KHEA Radio, 99.5 FM. I'm Gardy. This is Kickstart. Right now it's 9:10 on a beautiful, rainy Wednesday World Series morning. I got my good friend Anthony Macaluso. Anthony, you're a busy man.
I am.
What's going on, man? How you doing today?
I am good, brother. We are getting set up for tomorrow here at Abundant Life.
Tomorrow it's going down, and there's going to be no rain.
There's not. It is going to be cold. Bundle your kids up and then put a jacket on them.
Yeah.
Because it is going to be nasty cold.
It's going to be cold, but I think that kind of goes into the whole fall, the theme.
I don't know. When we did Taco Fest, 3 weeks ago, it was cold.
Yeah.
I think it's just here.
Any event here
is cold, which I'm good with. But man, tomorrow's high is like 56.
Woo!
But those kids are going to be partying outside, so
yeah,
it'll be good.
So we'll have lots of candy.
Lots of candy.
Hopefully, no one will get a cold.
There's going to be colds given.
It's going to be chilly out, but make sure that you come out. There is going to be an event taking place on the campus of Abundant Life in Rockin' Rivers Bounce House Party Spots. Y'all are going to be out there representing. How many pieces are you bringing? And what is your most favorite one?
It's like 16, I think, altogether. My favorite one is probably the space shuttle, just because it's so big.
Yeah.
And got a lot of stuff in it.
Okay.
Big slides, tall slides, all kinds of fun things.
There's also going to be, I think, an obstacle course.
There's going to be lots of obstacle courses.
How big is that one? It's like 60 feet long or something?
Yes, it's huge. That's the shuttle.
Oh, okay.
And then everybody's favorite one, the main attraction that everybody likes, is the wrecking ball, just because how big it is. It is ginormous.
Have you done it yet?
The wrecking ball? Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And it's so heavy.
That's cool.
So heavy. Yeah, it's cool, but then we have to roll it up.
Yeah. I did the jousting one during the Taco.
That'll be here tomorrow.
I did it with Leslie. She's the assistant executive director of the United Way for our area, and she beat me. No joke.
Of course.
She beat me.
You're a punk.
I guess so.
You're like Joe Buck.
Whoa. So the Astros played last night. They dropped Game 6. They had the opportunity to bring it home, but they get another chance tonight.
Yep. We're going to make it.
You have any predictions?
Astros.
Well, of course, but is there anything that you feel? Is someone going to hit a home run? What are the keys to the game? Is there one key to the game? Someone has to step up into pitching.
Off the bases.
They need to score some more RBIs.
That is the thing, yeah. That's the only thing that's going to keep us going. Obviously, more runs is the name of the game.
The Washington Nationals, and I can't think of his name, but their third baseman, he homered, last night, and he's good. I guess he went to Rice.
Yes.
And
was it Rice?
Yeah. He has the annoying goatee.
Yes.
But he seems like such a genuinely nice guy.
He was trying to hold the coach back last night, too.
Yeah. I don't understand. Okay, so they threw the Washington Nationals manager out.
So, fun fact, they make him sit down while they're playing because he's had heart attacks?
Yeah. I wonder why. Go figure.
Then he did that last night. I was like, oh, here comes another one.
It's like, we're throwing you out of the game. This is for your health. You should sit down. You are not healthy, sir. Please. You just had a procedure earlier this season.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't understand why they just don't let him go. What's he going to do? He ain't going to do nothing. You think he was? He was
angry
very
last night. He started to push his own coach.
Yeah. You get charged with assault? Is it worth it?
It's World Series, bro.
He was saying that, and I was reading his lips.
Yeah, there was
he wasn't happy. Here's the thing.
Bad things.
There was some RBI, a homer was hit right after that play, and then he's going to go complain.
About it.
Yeah, except for him.
No, he was probably down there cheering.
Well, in the commercial, that's whenever they threw him out. They took a commercial break after the home run, and then
gone.
He was so angry. Maybe he's just trying to call it a day.
He's probably tired. Chest was hurting.
Sleepy.
Sleepy. Just go in the office, kick back.
So if you're watching on Facebook, feel free to share this video out. I'm talking to Anthony Macaluso with Realty Solutions, Rock and Rivers Bounce House and Party Supplies. We're talking a little bit about the Astros. If you have a prediction, let me know. What are the keys to the game? What has to take place? What are the for the Astros to win? So you have some news that we touched on a little bit. I don't know if you want to save that. Maybe we share that later.
Save it. Yeah, let's save it.
There's some breaking news on KHEA.
There is.
That is going to be taking place later this hour.
Yep.
I'm excited for it, though.
I'm excited.
This is huge.
It's ginormous.
So
just another hat.
If Anthony wasn't busy enough, you're about to get a little bit busier.
We are.
Yeah. So, hey, I also saw that you have a new listing in Texas City.
Man. Yeah, we've got a nice little 2-bedroom, 2-bath out in Texas City off of 11.5 Street, right across the street from some parks. We got one going up in LaPorte this week, another one going up in LaPorte in about 2 weeks.
You know what you should do? Have an open house with nothing but like all the bounce houses.
I'm on it.
How fun would that be? You know, everybody would come.
My goal is not to have to do open houses. Most real estate agents don't like open houses just because.
Why?
You just sit around a lot of the times, you know. So if I have to do them, I bring bounce houses.
Yeah, open bounce house.
It gives me something to do if nobody's there.
You're going to be bouncing in there.
Nice place to lay down.
Nobody's here, so I'm just going to be bouncing right now.
Pretty much. But my goal is to never have to do them.
Yeah. Where is that house in Texas City? I saw the picture. It looks really nice.
Right over by the dike. Yeah, it's a new build or newer build, like 5 years old, right off of 11.5 Street by the police department.
Okay. So, yeah, past 6th Street then or like before?
Yeah, right past the high school, go down a little bit. There's a park on the left-hand side.
Yeah.
It's right over there. The park is on 10th
by the
Street.
Train station?
Yep.
The little train that they got there? That's cool.
Yep.
That's a great place to live.
It is.
I went to Touch Truck this past weekend, and there were bounce houses there. I did not let my kids bounce in them because they were not Rock and River's bounce house.
And it would be bad if River jumped in a non-River bounce house.
It's not allowed.
It's not.
No, but they did have something really cool. They had a pit of corn, like kernels, and then Tonka trucks. It was like a whole thing. So they had like, and so my son, he got in there.
What? Okay, I'm confused.
You know, like, well, corn kernels.
Yeah.
They had.
Were they cooked?
Box. No,
okay,
it was just like.
Popcorn.
Just corn. Yeah, I know. That would have been nice.
No,
it was actually kind of chilly out that day. So they had these Tonka trucks, and they were just letting kids play in it like instead of sand and dirt, it was corn. And it was pretty big, probably about as big as half of this room.
That's
and a bunch of kids. Yeah, it's different. I guess they did it last year.
Yeah, it is.
And it was pretty popular.
Be cool, though, if it was popcorn. They wouldn't have to clean up.
Yeah, exactly.
Kids would just eat it. Parents in there grabbing the kids and hand the popcorn.
That's true. Right now it's 9:17. This is KHEARadio.com, 99.5 FM. We have been talking a little bit about the Astros. And is the right word disdain? The people have spoken, at least on my social media pages, they don't really like a gentleman by the name of Joe Buck. And I have spoken some unpopular opinion whenever it comes to Joe Buck because I don't hate Joe Buck. I don't dislike him. And I think people get mad at that. I feel kind of sorry for him.
I don't feel sorry for him. I understand. I understand the situation being that I was in the business for a long time.
Yeah.
You have to find things to talk about.
Right.
There's other things than just one single individual on each team that you can talk about.
That he focuses on, like,
very
closely.
But it's every team that he announces for. It's just one person on each team, which I understand. But it's just like,
does he have one for the Astros?
No, he hates
doesn't
the
really.
Astros. No,
I don't say he hates the Astros. He doesn't. He doesn't follow them.
If the Astros do something good, he always brings up the Nationals. Every single time.
There are some good things where he was saying some good things about Yordan Alvarez.
Yeah.
He's young. He was like, oh, he's 22, and I was. Of course, he didn't say
he was 21. No.
Yeah, 21. He go on and on about it. But there were some good things that he was saying, but not as much as other players. I think he just doesn't follow them.
I don't know if he follows baseball that much. I mean, he does football and all that, but the guy's busy. I'll give it to him. But as an Astros fan, I hate him. So one of my favorite things, and this is just there's no plug whatsoever, but it was the first series. The guy stood up and raised his shirt up, and it said "Joe Buck sucks."
Yes.
So everybody was trying to figure out who this guy was. Come to find out, he was the owner of Gilman Honda.
Oh my gosh!
And that's it, like the whole Gilman group was so excited about it, but that was their owner who did it.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, it has to be somebody that has enough money
Sit
to be able to sit right there.
Yeah.
Because usually, well, if you're at Minute Maid Park, it's like Tillman Fertitta.
Yeah, it's Fertitta's.
Tillman Fertitta's wife, his kids, and their friends.
Yep.
You know, that's who sits right there. Or
And
sometimes
then
the Rockets.
You have the owner of the Astros, Jim Crane, sits right the second row. You've got
Nolan Ryan.
Biggio used to sit back there, but he doesn't sit there anymore.
Oh, did you see who's throwing out the first pitch tonight?
Tonight, yeah, Biggio and Bagwell.
Yeah.
So here's my thing. I wonder if Biggio's not showing face as much just now because of his son.
Playing for Toronto, right?
Yeah. So, I mean, I wonder if that's one thing. Because last year, up till when his son got on, he was always at the game. So now he's spending, I guess, more time watching his son, which is cool.
Mm-hmm.
But we need Biggio back.
Yeah, so he'll be there tonight. I'm upset. You know, last night they had Akeem Olajuwon, Clyde Drexler. I was like, this is it. This is it. This is the good luck charm to seal the deal.
Biggio and Bagwell.
Man, so Biggio and Bagwell, Game 7.
Joe Buck, one more night, guys. That's it. We can do this.
You think it's going to go all the way down to the wire?
I hope not.
I mean,
I hope
either.
we win it in the first and just we can coast. 20 runs in the first, I say we got it.
Yeah.
That's it. We need 20.
20 runs in the first inning.
All right, I'll take 18.
You know, is there a bigger moment? Game 7, the World Series, you know, you're down a couple runs, hitting the grand slam. That has to be the moment that every kid dreams about.
It is. Well, every kid dreams about Game 7.
Yeah.
And this is it.
You think it'll come down to it? And who would you rather have on the plate? Who would you have up to bat if it comes down to that? Bases loaded, we got to get a hit. Bregman?
Yeah.
You think so?
Mm-hmm.
Now, over Altuve?
Yeah.
Altuve's had a really good postseason run.
They both have. I mean, but the team's doing good. I mean, we have like we said, there's a lot of people left on base, but we wouldn't be where we are if they weren't doing good.
And here, this goes through my head all the time, and I guess it's easier to go through my head when I'm watching and these guys are actually up at the plate. But I would stand there and take those hits. Like, yeah, at 93 mile an hour. Again, it's easy to say.
Getting hit?
Yes.
No, you wouldn't.
I'm saying that as watching on the couch.
Yeah.
Again, yeah. But the guys up there, it's the World Series. If you could get on base, just like kind of lean into it. Because you see everybody jumping out the way.
He was known for that, just kind of leaning in and getting hit. I ain't doing that. Not happening.
Game 7 of the World Series, you're not going to take that for your team.
I'm too fat to be able to even play baseball. So, no, not a chance.
Man, I think someone has to. You got to do something. If you're not getting a hit.
Who was it, that catcher that got hit for National?
On the foot.
Yeah, he's coming back tonight.
Man.
Suzuki.
Yeah.
Something like that. I think
that guy.
Yeah.
Because there was another guy who got hit last night on the foot.
Yeah, no, not that one.
Suzuki got hit, yeah.
He got hit, I think in the groin. I could be wrong. I'm probably wrong. But, yeah, he's coming back tonight. He's a solid player, too. He's 36 years old, if you're wondering.
I remember that because it was like a pair of 36-year-olds going up against each other as he was batting, and I can't remember who was pitching.
I don't know, but I'm pretty sure that it was Verlander. But I'm pretty sure we know everybody's age. The concession guy's age is 42. Popcorn guy is 31.
I wonder how old the guy is who got hit with the Alvarez home run at the National Stadium.
Well, you seen him last night,
I saw him at the game last night.
He was stoked. Had his own shirt.
He was doing like Nats, baby.
Yeah.
Nats.
And then somebody threw an Astros flag over, which is great. So I don't know.
Have you had any friends that have had the opportunity to go to the games here in Houston?
Oh yeah. Yeah, I've had quite a few. I think my brother is going tonight. I know he says he has tickets, but he works a lot, so I don't know if he is for sure. But he could always pass him to his little brother.
For real. I have a friend that has gone to every home game, which, that's cool. But there has been a consensus growing within his friends, including myself. Stay home. We're like, do not go to Game 7. Every game that you have gone to is probably his fault.
I agree.
So he was at the game last night, and then after there was a bunch of like, dude, everybody told you to stay home. Please do not go to Game 7 today. Don't go.
Yeah, that's what everybody's like. Whoever was at the game last night, don't go. Let new, fresh people go.
Take one for the team.
We're all superstitious, and we have nothing we can do about it.
No.
I'm just as superstitious as everybody. First time I wore a shirt, an Astro shirt, obviously, since the first game.
That's a cool shirt. Where'd you get it?
It was a giveaway or a
at the stadium.
At the stadium, yeah. Fun fact: never seen Star Wars. Don't really care to. Yeah, I just like the shirt.
I was at Toxic City Comics, and we talked Star Wars. I told you this earlier. I was there probably for like 40, 45 minutes, and Star Wars was the topic of a lot of the conversation.
I would have just sat there just like this, looking around, and been like, y'all got any video games?
Batman.
Nope.
No?
I think the last Batman I seen was Michael Keaton.
Really?
Yeah.
The 1989
Something
Batman,
like that. Yeah.
Michael Keaton.
Yep. I dressed up as Jack Nicholson that year. Purple suit and everything.
Wow. Do you think I have what kind of do you think I have an Astro shirt on under here?
It's blue. I'm gonna say yeah.
Does this count? I'm gonna show the Facebook. This is actually a Nachos t-shirt.
Nice.
They gave me this whenever they came in. If you're watching on Facebook, you can see it. But if you're listening on the FM, it's like an
It's
Astro
legit
shirt.
though, dude. I like it.
Nachos. Why not?
I do. I like it.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
I would say it's Astros.
It counts. Yeah. So we still have church tonight, which is going to be fun because it starts at 7.
Yeah.
But they said that we can wear Astros gear, and I was like, I'm going to wear my Nacho shirt because I do have. I don't know if this counts.
Ain't nobody gonna. They can't read it from the back anyway. You're gonna be playing.
They're going to be like, does that guy have a shirt on that says Nachos?
No, it's the Astros. It says
Astro-
Astros,
It says
honey.
Astros. All these HD cameras now. People, I'm going to get busted.
Yeah.
All right. Right
Gardy
now.
said he was gonna wear Astros. He lied.
He's wearing a Nacho shirt. Hey, we're going to take a quick break on the FM. We're going to keep it going on Facebook. If you're watching on Facebook, feel free to share this out. Participate in our poll. We want to know, who do you think is going to win the World Series? Astros, Nationals, or Joe Buck?
Boo.
KHEA Radio, 99.5 FM. Poor Joe Buck. And nobody, again, I think I'm the only person who's ever.
Dude, I totally get it from the business side.
But he's
really
getting paid. You can't feel bad for him too much. He's
Bro,
very.
he is getting
paid.
He's
He's out there.
yeah.
He's doing it big. But
I don't like him.
and again,
If he was an Astros fan, I'd be all about him. I'd be like, man, Joe Buck is the bomb. He's
if he was all over like Altuve and all the other guys.
He's nice.
Altuve, he's only 29. However old he is.
4'11" and a half.
Oh man. But I am kind of jealous because I wish I had somebody with a paper like writing down random facts. It's like, well, Anthony Macaluso actually opens up 2 businesses per year. You know, on average, 2.7 businesses per year.
And the facts they come up with. Come on.
Yeah. And then
Are any of them real?
Smoltz said one. He's like, I'm going to take a guess and say that they're the only person who's at a 21 years old hitting a homer and RBI and like this random. And he just started laughing and they know
they're trolling us. It's 100%.
A little bit.
No, they are.
Yeah. But baseball is a numbers game.
It is, but
and they go into it deep. Like, whenever someones on first and a right-hander's on, like they go into that really deep.
One of my friends told me their son or nephew or somebody is a stat guy for the Yankees, and I can't remember who it was, but I wouldn't do that job. Couldn't do it.
Yeah. It's all about the numbers.
Yeah.
And, basketball's kind of leaning that way. I wonder if the football people, like the statistics are starting to take over like they are in other sports.
I don't know. I just watch baseball and hockey.
Is hockey a big numbers thing?
Not really.
Yeah.
It's soccer on ice.
Yeah.
That's what it is. Sharp blades.
Man. Well, Astros win tonight. They're going to be the World Series champs, and I think they were trying to make it dramatic. Game 7.
We had cakes and everything yesterday in the locker room.
They had cakes in there?
Yeah. Said World Series champ. Look what happened when the Nationals were setting up the day before we went and played.
They jinxed it.
You can't have the cakes out of the stadium. Bring them in when we win.
I had some inside information that a local news publication had access to Academy last night in preparation for the World Series win.
Is Joe going to get us any shirts?
whenever they were supposed to win last night, to get footage of like there's thousands of people out at Academy buying the new champs gear.
Nacho shirts. Yeah. We have a friend group that has messages all the time or whatever, text messages, and they were like, "Hey, y'all want to meet up at the 8th inning if we're winning?" I'm like, "No."
At Academy?
Yeah, no. I'll order it online and get it in 2 days. They're like, "Oh, it's just the environment, being around all that." I'm like, "No, I'm good."
Man. So it's going to be another late night, pretty much is what that means.
So here's what I do. I fall asleep.
Wake up just in time?
If I hear something, that's what I did 2 years ago. My wife was like, "Hey, they just won." I'm like, "Sweet, okay." I love baseball, but got to sleep when I can.
Yeah. get it in. I've been doing this where I sometimes get ready like for bed like in the 6th or 7th, like, oh, it's the 7th inning stretch, and I like hurry up and try and get everything done so that way I can catch the end of it. Yeah. And otherwise I'm going to be up till like 12:30.
Yeah, it's going late. It really is. All of them are.
And that game delay didn't help.
No, because it was like 20-something minutes.
Mm-hmm. And then it turns out, because later they clarified.
You can't even, yeah.
So it's like, what were they doing?
They were reading the rules.
They were getting the guy, and then at the Nationals were like, not boycotting the game. They were protesting the game. It's
but
like
you couldn't protest either. You
can't protest anything. And you won.
Yeah.
Y'all scored. Y'all are sitting pretty.
Yeah, they said they couldn't protest it anyway because of the call, but it's just, I don't know.
Are you for the robo umps that people have been saying?
No.
I am.
I don't like having, let them make their calls. I don't like the replays.
Really?
No.
I like it. Like, why not just get it right?
It goes for us, but not against us. But no, I don't know. I'm not a big technology guy, I guess. So.
Yeah. I like it. Just make it easier. Get those guys out of there. Keep the strike zones consistent, and maybe give in a little bit of error. They could probably put that into the computers anyway.
That's one thing. Everybody's complaining about the umps, and the umps have been pretty terrible this season.
They've been worse than Joe Buck.
No, nobody's worse than Joe Buck. But everybody's complaining. They've made some bad calls behind the plate. I will say that.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Yeah.
Have you ever umpired?
Mm-mm.
Super hard.
It seems like it would
be. I did
be.
it for one season for softball, and stand-up. It's a weird view, man. It's so strange to be behind the plate and look at it, and I didn't really care for it.
Well, what's crazy, I feel like the batters know if it's a strike sometimes better than the umpires.
I agree.
Because you'll see, like, they put the little box up there, and I'm guessing it's pretty accurate. It looks like it is. Again, I'm sitting on my couch.
Nice colors.
Yeah, but if it's just like outside the box, you'll see the guys kind of react different, like stand up and like look and be like, okay, really? Okay.
We'll make it.
It's like obviously they know. It's like they know exactly where the strike zone is.
Yeah, it's too much technology behind it.
I love it. We need more. And then we just have a pitching machine. We take out the pitchers altogether.
There you go. Save some money. Don't be giving them the ideas.
Save some arms and injuries. Yeah. Hey, so tomorrow you're going to be out at Abundant Life.
Yes.
The World Series will be over.
Yes.
There's going to be no excuse to stay home. You need to take your family somewhere.
Come to Abundant Life.
How many pieces are you having out here?
A lot.
Like 100?
Like 16.
No, for real, like 16 pieces?
Yeah.
I was thinking it was like 9.
So no, some of them are doubles.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's going to be fun. It's going to be a lot of power. It's going to be super cold, and it's going to be worth it.
So today's the 30th.
Mm-hmm.
My son's birthday is November 9th.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to need is there enough time? So that's not this Saturday, but next Saturday. Mm-hmm. Do you have anything available that I can rent from you?
I'm sure I do. So it was last Friday. I have like a number that I like to keep in my head that I want to make for the weekend.
Yeah.
And I was way under that, and I was like, that stinks. But whatever, it's a weekend off. I can say that.
Yeah.
Just a couple. Friday, we got 6 phone calls and 6 more rentals for that Saturday. It's like, man, you talk about last-minute people.
Yeah.
I'm happy to help you.
All right.
So if you got last-minute orders, we're probably your guy.
What's the biggest event that you've done so far? Was it that Livingstone's one?
No, Livingstone's was just a few. We did
3 acres?
3 acres was good. This is going to be our biggest.
Okay.
For sure.
With the 16?
With the most and the most staff that we'll have.
Okay.
It's going to be our team members. I don't like calling them staff.
Well, then I want 17 at my house. I want to be bigger. I want to be bigger than.
Are we having it here?
But no, in my backyard.
So my goal is
front yard and neighbors' yards.
Neighbors is to start doing like bigger events. There's people that do the Astros that are local down here. I need to figure out how to get into that, get into the Rockets, and they just do Street Fest.
Mm-hmm.
So that's my goal, and we'll get there. We're so new. We seriously have only been doing this for 2 months, and it's crazy the amount of people that we've talked to and know us now and know our name because of just advertising, social media, word of mouth.
Definitely. I would say
customer service.
The United Way, they do a lot of events, and now they know who you are. But yeah, that relationship, because they do a lot of stuff on 6th Street,
mm-hmm.
and then events around, and the city of Texas City, they do a lot of events as well with with 6th Street. So They had some at Bayou Fest, and I'm trying to remember who it was out there, but they had probably like 10 different bouncers.
I want the market, bro.
Yeah.
That's it. I want the whole market. I really don't. There's so much space for so many of these businesses, and it's a really cool business. And I know I know a few people that own one of the businesses, and they do great with it. There's so much that people can offer, and like obviously I don't have everything, and they don't have everything. So there's enough.
Are you going to acquire them so you can have everything?
No.
Just buying everybody out?
No, I would. That's how this started, unfortunately.
Yeah.
But, no, it's fun, and like I say, in 2 months we've grown to way bigger than I expected. We never expected to be this busy this late of the year, but it is, and we're thankful for it. We really are. Yeah,
I saw Stephanie Kovich from Furniture Zone was watching, and I saw you had posted something the other day.
Yeah.
Were y'all out there?
Yeah. So. Hi, Stephanie. I may have got a text message at like 11 o'clock Friday night, and she was like, hey, dude.
Saturday.
I can understand if you can't do this. And I was like, you know what? I'll make it work. I am huge with small businesses. I love helping small businesses as much as I can, even before we were a small business. But she called, and if I can make something happen, guys, I'm going to make it happen. Customer service, I've been in it my entire life. And that's the way you grow your business, is making sure people are happy and trying to jump through hoops to help them to make sure that they're successful.
I know you do stuff with Southern Sass Vinyl and More.
Yep.
And their parking situation is very interesting.
Yes.
Because they're doing construction on there.
They're building a
Starbucks.
So they had their 1 year anniversary.
Yeah.
And we were going to set up there as just logistically, where were we going to set up?
Right.
And that was the thing. Paul and me talked about it, and he was like, well, we could always go out the back door. We can't really do anything in the drive. I was like, I don't know where to set up. So it's just kind of one of those things. But, yeah, they're awesome people.
Yeah, they had a couple food trucks there, but it was even, for them to find the space was interesting as well.
Yeah, that Starbucks takes up a lot of room.
Yeah, it does. But I don't know. There's a lot.
Like that one's moving slow, too.
It does seem like it is.
I feel that the one on 517 started after that one, and they're already open.
Wow. Well, they need to put a light to get in and out of that, or I don't know what they need to do. They need to fix 518.
That road's packed all the time, and luckily there's nice citizens. If you're just sitting there, they'll let you scoot in. But then there's some not so nice.
Yeah, there's some rude people out there,
but we have to love them. Unlike Joe Buck, who we don't love.
Oh man.
Yeah, he's coming back around with that one.
Joe Buck. I'm gonna write this down. Juan Soto
21
is 21 years old.
Yeah.
Just so 20. I don't forget.
Yeah, 21.
They did make the joke was like he said someone said to me the other day that Juan Soto was a much better hitter whenever he was 20, which I thought it was funny.
It's probably him telling himself that.
In the mirror.
Right.
He's practicing his lines.
Yeah, there's that.
It's the note writer. They have a pad probably just like this.
Yeah.
And the same
sticky
pen.
Note with the
Grip-On Gardens.
Yeah, I'm sure it is.
Juan Soto's 21.
Ain't you?
Don't forget it.
Can't. We hear it all night.
Okay, so right now it's 9:37. How much more time? Probably about 45. Are you going to do the breaking news? Because we have some breaking news.
We can do it at 45. I'm ready. Let's do it.
Okay,
45.
So we got some time. So make sure you stay tuned. If you're watching on Facebook, share this video out. Let us know if you have any predictions for the Astros game tonight. My wife was asking me why they play in a row. She's like, aren't they tired? I was like, probably. They're used to it, I guess, by now, and different pitchers.
Who was it? Hinch was saying that they don't like the break. That the team would rather just play straight instead of having breaks in between.
Yeah.
So,
why don't they just play multiple games in a row, like the double headers?
Yeah, because you couldn't use the same players. That's a lot of ball playing.
Well, it's the same. Even the next day, it's like I'm already playing. Those games are so long. I guess you don't know how long it's gonna be. 3 hours, 4 hours.
See, I like the little break in between. Gives you something else to watch on TV, I guess. Wrestling, it's always there.
Hey, wrestling's going back to Santa Fe.
It is. I'm sponsoring it again.
As the Bounce House?
Yeah, Rockin' Rivers is doing it this time. Let's go around.
Okay.
So
you should put one inside of a gym, but put the jousting one. So you have the wrestling ring, and then you have the jousting where people would be able to.
Bart, are you listening to this, man?
Take their hand out.
Bart, UPW on November 9th. Yeah, it's going to be fun. Last time was a blast. Our boy Chevy made an appearance. They had one in Bay Cliff 2 weeks ago, and he showed up all
the beatdown.
Yeah, showed up all in a suit and everything, looking fancy, doing the announcing. He's going to be doing the announcing for this one in Santa Fe. So,
you think that's his calling?
Oh my God, yes. Yeah, once he gets the nerves out, man, Chevy is on fire on the mic.
Yeah,
he's crazy.
I saw the closing because he had shared a clip of it. I didn't have a chance to make it, and he shared the end.
Same thing. I was working. I'm glad that this one's on a Friday, so we can make it. But yeah, they said there was like 200 and something people at this one, which is awesome. So UPW Santa Fe, November 9th at, I don't know where it's at. It's at the church.
Yeah. I think is Arcadia Baptist a church in Santa Fe?
Okay.
They have a gym.
Somebody tell us. Somebody's got to be watching.
Or I just made up a new church.
But no, we were on the subject of the bounce house thing. At RJ Woolham in Santa Fe, they're going to be taking my strongman game tomorrow, which...
What's the strongman game?
It's the hammer game.
Oh, yeah.
That's actually going to be out here. I didn't tell y'all I was bringing it, but I'm
here?
bringing it. Yeah.
Is that hard?
Yeah.
Have you been able to make it go all the way?
Yeah, I can, but it takes a little bit and your arms get tired. But we're putting that in the gym tomorrow. Tomorrow's a busy day. We'll be in Santa Fe at the high school, or at the Woolham. We'll be in Dickinson at their high school, dropping stuff off, and then tomorrow night we'll be here.
Man.
So, super busy day tomorrow.
How heavy is that hammer?
It's not terrible. Oh, the hammer itself.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's about that much. I don't know.
It's pretty heavy?
Nah, it's 5-10 pounds.
Because sometimes I go to the Iron Den, and they have like these hammers, and they'll make us bang on the tire.
Though, right?
Huh?
Those are sledges.
I don't know. Is that, yeah.
Yeah, so no, they're lighter than that.
Okay. Yeah. But they have like 3 different sizes, and sometimes I like look around.
You're going to be using it, so we'll video it and let the people see you not hit it.
Yeah, well, I look around and I'm like, okay, do I want the really heavy hammer? Nah, I don't. Do I want the light one? No. I usually get like the middle one. I'm like, this one looks like a good size. Just like banging the tire.
You fall back. You seen that video of the dude in the laundry mat, and he threw his bag over his shoulder and just flew back? I picture you doing that.
Well, I'm scared if people park close to like where the tires are, because like this thing slips.
Oh yeah.
Your car, like your window's gone.
Yeah.
You know.
Nah, it's not that heavy, but that'll be out here, and so you're gonna be.
I'll do it.
That. Yeah.
I'll definitely do it. So
I'll
again,
bring the lighter one for you.
That's tomorrow, starting at 6:00. If you're looking for something fun to do, this is an opportunity for you to bring the family out.
Yep.
There's going to be a basketball tournament, 3-on-3. I think ages like 16 to 25. Then there's all kinds of games for the kids to do.
You can warm up your basketball at the basketball throw too.
Yeah.
We'll be there you go. See that? Get your arms
Get
warm.
practice going.
Man.
There's going to be some music. We're going to have Ashley Stringer out there doing a live performance. They're going to have me out there talking to people nonstop for 3 hours. It's scheduled out.
He's going to be telling everybody's age.
3 hours.
Little Brian over here, 7 years old, jumping on the joust.
That's what I want to interview some of the kids. Yeah, like with the costume. Like, so what went into your decision to become the Hulk tonight?
Mom went to the store, and this is what she brought back.
Party City? Party City had it? All right, here we go. Let's make the switch. And then it's almost 9:45 where we can break some news right here on KHEA. Here we go. Good morning. This is KHEA Radio, 99.5 FM. This is Kickstart. I'm Gardy. It's 9:42 on a Wednesday morning. I got my good friend Anthony.
Rainy Wednesday.
What's up with the rain?
100% today, but cleared it out for tomorrow, so that's all that matters.
And the rain always brings in like cold weather.
Of coldness.
Mm-hmm.
Like 50s tomorrow.
Yeah.
And if people are listening out of state, they're like, 50, that's summertime.
Yeah.
And we're like, no, that's winter for us, and it's cold.
For us, nah, yeah, it's too cold.
It's
but
the last day for shorts, bro.
Oh, man.
That's it.
Well, it was cold not too long ago, but it didn't stick around.
No, this one I think is supposed to for a little bit, but it's Texas, so it'll probably be 56 tomorrow night and 86 on Friday. So.
Did you just audition to be the weatherman here?
Maybe. That was my first job in radio. It was weather.
Was it?
It was.
Did you like it?
I mean, it was. Yeah, no.
Why not?
I don't know. It was radio. It was weather and news. So I would do the weather and then jump on the news right afterwards.
What station was it?
I did KACC.
Okay.
89.7? 89.7
Mm-hmm.
KACC. Yep.
Can you say it like you're on air there?
89.7 KACC.
I like that.
Yep. And then we did 790 with the arrows. There were some other stations.
Yeah. Sports talk, was that fun?
I didn't do I did play-by-play at that point.
Oh, okay.
For the Arrows.
And you're a fan of hockey, though.
So that was a lot of fun.
I don't know that many hockey fans. I know
Not
a couple.
Here. Yeah.
But, yeah, and they don't live here. Like, one of my friends, he lives in Pittsburgh, but he's a big fan of the Penguins.
Yeah. Well, and what else do you have over there?
Work.
At the Pirates.
I think pipeline work. That's it. That's why I moved out there.
Sweet stadium. But, yeah, no. I love hockey. I miss it. Tillman Fertitta, if you're listening, bring us a hockey team back. You talked about it.
Yeah. It used to be, were the Arrows? No, they wasn't the ownership as the Rockets, right?
Yeah, it was Les Alexander.
He did? He owned the Arrows as well?
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yep.
But he sold $2 billion to Tillman Fertitta.
Pocket change, son.
Who has been, going to the World Series games. And
he showed up at the 6th inning last night, so you can't really say he's there. His
I
son
think he's
is
in
there.
the back.
No.
I don't know how it works because I've never been in. I guess that's Diamond Club, right?
Yeah, so they have big restaurant, real fancy, nice restaurant back in the back.
So he's probably in the back at the fancy restaurant. You don't think so?
No. His chauffeur was probably running late.
No way.
Come on. You don't drive?
Maybe.
Nah.
He could take an Uber. I don't know.
When was the last time you think he was in a Toyota Corolla?
I'm a big Tillman Fertitta fan.
I am 200%.
Yeah.
He does a show out, The $1 Billion Buyer. I don't know if it's on TV or not still, but we used to watch it every week. I love it.
Yeah.
I think that he's a good businessman, and, I love business, so why not?
Yeah. And he just released a new book. Have you seen it?
I have.
I haven't had the chance to read it or download the audio copy, but that's probably I'm going to do that.
Read it.
Huh?
So don't act like you're going to read it.
Oh yeah, that's why I download the audio copy.
Download it.
It's a lot easier to do that while you're driving. But then my son's he thinks he's the DJ, so he's always throwing out requests.
Yeah.
In the back seat.
That's my kid. Baby Shark. I'm like, no, we're not watching Baby Shark. Gummy Bears. No, we're not listening to Gummy Bears either. So you listen to country music and you enjoy it.
Yeah. Did he dress up today?
No. So I messaged my wife because they have the trunk or treating today for school, and I messaged her. I was like, was he supposed to dress up? She was like, well, he could wear T-shirts. And I was like, he's been wearing Halloween shirts for the last week, so.
Mm-hmm.
He don't need no T-shirt. He's cute.
My son was
costume.
like Batman, but he didn't want to wear the mask, and he doesn't have a cape, but it's one of those costumes that has the muscles in it. So he has on his gray
glasses
pants.
on him, and he's good to go.
Batman.
Is he here? Does he go to the?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
He's in the 2nd grade.
Yeah.
So they got they're gonna be doing the candy stuff and all the festivities, but he's stoked. He likes it.
Yeah. Well, I won't be there, but my wife will be there handing out candy.
Yeah.
With my kid screaming because he wants to go home.
Oh man.
You're like, no, you stay. You go take a nap. It's pizza day, man.
Yeah.
Love pizza day on Wednesday. It's the only thing you look forward to, I think.
Hey, so we have some breaking news right now.
Do.
It's 9:47. Anthony, introduce yourself. Say everything that you have going on.
All right.
And if there wasn't enough, let us know what the new news is.
All right. So I am Anthony Macaluso. We own Rockin' Rivers Bounce House and Party Supplies. You can find us at Facebook on Rockin' Rivers Bounce House and Party Supplies. 409-363-8175. There you go. I'm also a real estate agent with Realty Solutions.
I'm playing his background music because I haven't had the opportunity to play in a long time. It throws you off a little bit. How about?
And we are now the proud owner of the Gun Vault of Texas. We will be opening up another business here very soon. We're nailing down all the details and going to be selling guns and accessories. So the Gun Vault of Texas. We are on Facebook as of today. We are on Instagram and all that good stuff. So the Gun Vault of Texas is us.
You heard it here first.
You have. Nobody knows about that.
The Gun Vault coming to, an internet near you.
Yeah, no, we'll be selling in Santa Fe for now, and we will be opening up a store pretty soon.
And you have a background in guns.
I do.
The firing range, right?
Yeah, we have. I was with the Arms Room for many, many years. Still love those guys, and it's just ventures that, things happen for a reason, and. I was approached with this and said, yeah, let's do this.
So things happen for a reason. You think Joe Buck is announcing the World Series for a reason?
What would that reason be? To make millions of dollars?
Yeah. So we got about 8 minutes left. Talking to my good friend Anthony. He just broke some news. The Gun Vault, Texas, is coming into Santa Fe.
Yep.
It's going to be an opportunity for you to...
Galveston County. I'll say that. I'm not in the city, so I can't say Santa Fe.
Yeah. Oh, you're not? So what do you mean, in the city limits or something?
Yeah, I'm in county.
I don't know the difference. What's interesting about our area is it just like winds in and out.
Yeah.
And sometimes I don't know, like, am I in Hitchcock? Am I in Santa Fe? Is this Lamarck?
You know what, the one that gets me is Texas City. Texas City goes through Dickinson, goes through Lamarck, then there's Texas City again.
Yeah.
Like on or almost at 146, that's considered Texas City.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, where's their lines stop and start?
Yeah, that's where I got pulled over by a Texas City officer on 146.
Never
and I'm
getting
like,
off,
this
bro.
isn't even Texas. I guess it is.
Yeah.
Or like if you're Lamarck High School, Kelly's Country Cooking's on the left.
Mm-hmm.
Keep going, Lamarck High School's on the right.
Texas City.
It's like Texas City on the left, Lamarck on the right, but like Kelly's is the cutoff. So it goes 1765, and then there's a veer, and Domino's is on the right, and Kelly's is on the left, and that veer right there, like Kelly's is the cutoff.
It's crazy where their jurisdiction is, but
it is what it is.
Yeah. All I know is to drive the speed limit on 45 in between there and League City.
Yeah.
Because that one guy, he's
that one guy.
It's the same guy every day. It's the same guy.
Yeah.
And if you're listening, keep doing
we
what
love
you're
you.
doing.
Yeah, we support our law enforcement officers.
Great
of course.
Tundra, have my name on it.
Yeah.
Just remember my truck.
If you need a bounce house.
Yeah. Or gun or something.
Hit up Rockin' Rivers.
Yeah. We'll bounce all around. Give you a heck of a discount.
Oh, man. Hey, so we got Julie watching from Indiana. What's the weather like in Indiana? And is anybody in Indiana watching the World Series?
Yeah, she's probably watching the World Series.
I've seen a lot of people.
She probably hates Joe Buck, too.
Yeah.
Sound off if you hate Joe Buck.
Poor Joe Buck.
Nope.
I feel bad for him.
Nope.
I just do.
Nope. Maybe a little bit.
I do. You know what? I think
he's starting something. He's
he
getting angry. He just hit the desk, guys.
He could do a better job. Everybody could do a better job, but I hope that I am never hated by that many people on social media. Maybe I am.
Bro, you're not. You're good.
Okay.
You work at KHEA.
I'll make sure that I never announce Astros World Series games.
What if it's Little League? So when I was younger, I would do that. I would do Little League, like announcing the names to kids and stuff. That's where my calling came from.
Really?
Yep.
So what all have you done in baseball? Because I know you mentioned umpiring.
Well, I did girls softball. My uncle talked me into it, and I was like, yeah, sure, I'll try it. That was a huge mistake. It's what's sad is, and may upset people, but it's the parents. The parents are what make coaching, because I coach too, and that's what made me leave all of it, because the parents are mean. We can't have 26 kids on the field at once.
They are cruel.
They are.
They can be.
But I'm a parent now, so I'm probably going to be like that.
Yeah. You think River's going to want to play sports? Maybe some t-ball?
I hope so. He loves throwing things, so there's that.
Yeah, my son Kellen, who's 7 now, but he played t-ball one year. Then the next year he moved to coach pitch, and then the third year I was like, "You ready?" He's like,
"No, he just wants to kick."
I don't want to play.
Now.
I don't want to play baseball anymore. I don't like it, and it broke my heart.
He's karate chopping.
Yeah. Hey, so we got an update. It's 46 and raining in Indiana, and then here's
it's like 80 when raining here, and it'll be 50 tonight.
Oh wow, Heather said, "Who is Joe Buck?" And then she said, "Y'all should talk about John Smoltz, his Hall of Fame partner."
Yes.
Who is doing a good job?
Hi, Heather.
I think he's doing a great job.
So I'm mad at Heather, by the way.
Why? What happened?
Because she has Brian McCann, and I want Brian McCann back.
Catcher.
Yeah.
He plays for the Braves now?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And John Smoltz, that's who he pitched for with the Braves.
Obviously, you can guess where she's from.
I'm guessing she's probably from Galveston.
No.
There's a lot of people like that.
No.
What is that? Do you see that? There's people that are like, "I'm from Galveston. Go Yankees."
Yeah. No, she's a diehard.
Is she from it?
Yeah.
Georgia?
Born and raised. That's my sister-in-law.
Okay.
But yeah, they took Brian McCann back and it made me sad. But we did have Brian McCann and Evan Gaddis throw out the first pitch. I think it was the World Series.
Mm-hmm.
I think it was like game 1 or 2, which
McCann
was really
hit
cool.
One of those. He's left-handed, right?
Mm-hmm.
He hit. He snuck one over the wall in 2017. I remember that World Series game where he just barely got one over. I can't remember which game.
Back.
Yeah,
we'll never get him back.
There were so many home runs in the 2017 World Series. Do you think the balls were juiced? Do you have any inside information?
They corked the bats.
Yeah, something was going on. Either way, it was awesome because it was
Did
like.
You know that Soto's 21?
No.
Yeah, just real
I think
quick.
he's about to be 22.
Oh.
Hey, is there anything else you'd like to share?
That's it, man. Tomorrow night, 6 o'clock, I think. Here at Abundant Life, we'll be setting up, doing some bounce house and jousting, wrecking ball, all kinds of fun things. Come out, warm yourself up. pretty sure there'll be some hot cocoa somewhere.
There will be.
There you go.
Snow King asked us, they're going to be out here, and he's like, guys, it's going to be cold. Do you still want me out there? I was like, absolutely.
You know,
Snow King.
I don't know, and I know I'm not the only one. I crave ice cream when it's freezing cold.
Yeah.
So, Snow King, I'll be probably seeing you shivering, being like, cherry, please.
Yeah.
But no, it's going to be a fun day tomorrow.
Yeah.
Really, I'm excited.
Snow King also does like Frito pie and chili dogs, and those are things, man, I love chili.
Are they having that tomorrow?
Yes.
Sold.
Hey, Sonic has 50-cent corn dogs tomorrow. They did it last year, too.
Taco Bell got free tacos coming up soon, too. Right, Joe Buck?
Steal the
Yeah,
steal
steal the base.
steal the base,
Yep.
steal a taco.
Yep.
That's what's up.
So tomorrow, 6 o'clock, Rockin' Rivers will be here and rocking out.
All right. Thank you for hanging out, Anthony.
Thanks, brother.
We're taking a quick break on the FM. We're going to keep it going. Whenever we come back, we're going to be talking about Higher Up Texas. This is KHEA Radio, 99.5 FM. Stay tuned. Coming up next is Toby Mac. Song's called Scars.
Look at that guy.
Oh, boy. Look at this guy.
Look who comes out the closets. Knock out from behind
We
the
unleashed
screen.
him from the... He's like, are y'all talking about me?
Yes, we are.
All right. Cool. That's what's up. Hey, Anthony.
I'll see you
You're awesome, man.
I'll be here on 4.
Appreciate you.
Let me know about the generator.
Okay. Yeah, we'll reach back out. I'm going to tag Landon C right now.
Yeah, because we got to figure out where we're setting up to.
Okay.
I tried to get a hold
They have a map and everything.
Where's the map?
It's a drawing, and I don't have a copy. Catherine was like, I have this really official copy, and
She never. I've asked her.
she'll get it to you.
Catherine, if you're listening.
We'll double, triple check.
Okay.
She was on talking with me when we had 300 people watching yesterday. I'm still trying to figure out what happened. Who was that? Was that you? Who was it?
I was busy yesterday, so I didn't even.
It wasn't you, Anthony, was it?
Chime in. I'm like, yo, what's up?
Man.
Not yesterday.
Well, all right, dude. Hey, I'll see you. Hey, leave that the door open, and then we'll get her in there. Hey, if you are watching on Facebook, hey, Ava, how's it going? Shout out to our good friends at Pierogi Queen, which we were talking about Southern Staffs Vinyl and more, and they are in that same strip. So shout out to Pierogi Queen. I saw a video of them knocking out some pierogies. It actually said pierogi on pierogi on pierogi, and then I saw some pickle soup. If you haven't been there, go get some pickle soup. Tell them the Guardy said, I need to try this pickle soup. And if it sounds, I love pickles. I had the sourest pickle yesterday and ate popcorn and watched the game. But it sounds interesting, pickle soup, but I promise you it is so good. So if you watched the Astros last night, I need you to sound off. If you participated in the poll, we're going to probably be releasing the final results of that. So we're going to be bringing in our next guest here in a bit. We're going to be chatting and talking about Higher Up Texas. If you've heard of Higher Up Texas, let me know. If you haven't, we're going to be sharing everything about them. So it's a local nonprofit that is new to the Dickinson area. They are, I believe, focusing on schools and communities and things that go on there. And we're going to get our next guest situated and everything going on. How's it going? You can have a seat there. And then we're going to have to get you to move this mic. You don't have to use the headphones, but you can if you'd like.
Sure.
And then this you can move, and you're going to want to talk pretty close to it. And you can move it down and everything.
Okay.
Here, I'm going to switch your camera on. You're good to go. How's it going?
Very good. Thanks for having me.
I lost my pen. I always play with a pen, and then I throw it up in the air, and I'm going to write it down. So we're talking Higher Up Texas.
Yes. We are a new nonprofit serving Dickinson High School, a pilot program. And what we are doing, we are helping develop the next future of the future workforce. We're giving them skill sets that are not taught in school anymore, such as voting and paying attention to their personal financial literacy, things of that nature.
Yes.
And we're developing their critical thinking skills, learning to think before you act.
Okay.
A huge novel concept.
That's hard, though. Sometimes that is hard.
In an Amazon Prime world, yes, it's very hard.
Yes.
When you want it now.
So it's Hillary, right?
Mm-hmm.
And your last name is Graham?
Yes.
Okay. Hillary Graham. Where are you from?
Chicago.
You're from Chicago? How long have you been here?
14 years.
Okay, cool. So you are, I feel like that's long enough. Even a year, just okay, you're one of us now. Do you feel that way?
I think so. I have a daughter who says y'all, and I'm pregnant with my second, so I'm sure I have
Congratulations.
another Texan on the way. Yes, thank you.
So when is the baby expected?
February. I have an Aquarius coming.
Ooh, what day?
February 16th.
My birthday's the 19th.
Okay.
So I'm rooting for that.
Okay. Good. Well, I don't want to be pregnant longer than I have to, but okay, that's a good birthday.
Yeah. My wife is pregnant as well, and so she's in March.
Okay, close in age.
Yeah. You know, how old's your daughter?
4.5, so they'll be about 5 years apart.
Okay,
almost.
so 4.5 years ago, were they already doing where they can tell the sex of the baby at like 10 weeks?
You know, we don't find out. We didn't find out with her, and we're not finding out with this one either.
That's cool.
Yeah.
My wife didn't want to know, and I was like, "Oh, just tell me. It's cool." And I feel like I'm a steel trap if I need to be, but we just ended up, finding out and everything. But my daughter's 2 and 2.5. But even then, I don't think that they didn't either tell us that they could know the sex of the baby at 10 weeks or I don't know. But it's just crazy, like the technology.
I know. And, we wanted to kick it old school and just wait because that's one of life's biggest surprises. And as a self-proclaimed aspiring minimalist, it helps not to buy things beforehand. And I always have that cave woman mentality. If the cave woman could raise babies with nothing, I could do the same. So I have like one Rubbermaid box with all the essentials, and that's it. And for baby clothes, I saved like a quarter of what I had because I was like, I didn't use any of that stuff. So it just helps not knowing so I don't get sucked in of, oh, that's so cute. I need that.
Yeah, that can be easy. Here's a comment. This is from Julie. She said, I love Hillary's hair and cute dress.
Thank
So thank you. She said
thank you. Appreciate it.
Hey, so we'll go on the FM right now. It is 10 o'clock, and we'll get Hillary introduced, and we'll dive into everything. Do you have any questions for me?
I don't.
Let's do this. Here we go. Good morning. This is KHEA Radio, 99.5 FM. Right now it is 10:01 on a Wednesday morning. The World Series Game 7 is tonight, so that's exciting. My name's Gardy. I got a special guest, and we're going to be talking about Higher Up Texas. I'm going to let her introduce herself, and then we're just going to find out everything that they have to offer and how you can get involved. How you doing?
I'm fabulous. Thanks for having me here today.
All right.
So awesome.
So you mentioned, Hillary, you mentioned that you are originally from Chicago.
Mm-hmm.
And
from the city, not the suburbs. And that is very clear in my household. My husband, he's a suburbanite, and I correct him every time. And I even posted something on his Facebook wall the other day to let people know because he says, oh, yeah, I'm from Chicago.
So he's from the suburbs of Chicago.
An hour away. Doesn't even count.
So what's the difference? I'm sure I know there's a difference, but like even here, like, a suburb of Houston.
I know. And I'm kind of a poser because I say Houston, and I live in Lake City, but Chicago's different. So Chicago, like, you don't learn to drive until you're way older because there's public transportation. You can bike, you can rollerblade. I rollerbladed until I was like 18, way too long, I know. This is back in the day, though. I'm 36, so rollerblades were still cool then. But I don't know. You can just live in the city. You have everything at your fingertips. You change neighborhoods, you change cultures. It's one of the greatest cities in the world. I'm so fortunate to have grown up there because it really just developed my worldview of what else is out there. Because when I went to college in Indiana, boiler up, Purdue, wow, I had a rude awakening. I was like, where's the L? Where's the culture here? And it was lacking.
Yeah. I have spent some time in Indiana, and I have pretty much driven through Chicago. And one thing that stuck out to me was the weather. It was very cold.
Yeah.
At least whenever I was there. I don't know if it's always a little bit cooler than it is here.
Oh, yeah. You know how it rains here in the summer and it just becomes a swamp? Okay. There, it cools it down significantly. So summer is just so different. The summer there is equivalent to our good winter, but winters there is as bad as our summers here. So it's like
a trade-off.
Yeah. But it's nice to not have to trudge through snow, but I do miss it around holidays. I get a little melancholy.
Yeah. So, Hillary, how long have you been in Texas, and what brought you this way?
14 years, and I followed a boy that I knew for 3 months. My husband, we've been married 11 years, and I was ready for adventure. He had gotten a job at NASA. He found his dream job when he was he knew what he wanted to do when he was a little kid, and here I was like, I don't know what I want to do, but hey, why not? That's a 22-year-old thinking like their brain's not developed yet and making a major life decision. But I did it, and we've built our lives here and our careers here.
Mm-hmm. Cool. So what role does he have at NASA?
He's working on Orion right now, but he's also a flight controller for the International Space Station, and he does like the scheduling for the astronauts and things like that. And I'm probably explaining this in such an ignorant way, and it's probably outdated. He probably did that a long time ago. I'm terrible. I'm a terrible NASA wife, but he's doing really cool things, and he's very smart. And yeah,
that's cool. Yeah. Earlier this year, I think it was 50 years celebrating the lunar landing.
And Neil Armstrong, he was a Purdue Boilermaker as well, first man on the moon. So
that's
our
cool.
football team stinks, but we have astronauts.
Yeah, that's sometimes that's the trade-off, I guess, but that's cool. So higher up Texas, you mentioned that it is kind of like, did you say a pilot?
Yes, we're a pilot nonprofit organization, and we are very fortunate to be at Dickinson High School. Dickinson ISD has welcomed us graciously, and it's been a wonderful experience. We're working with 26 senior students, and we facilitate a program twice a week. So we have fifth period Tuesday and Fridays, and we're bringing in content that is different every month. But we're giving them life skills. So how to write a check, how to understand a W-2. You get a bill you can't pay, don't just crumple it up and toss it. Call and say, hey, I need a grace period. I can't pay this. Or can you lower my interest? We don't want them to be defined by their consequences of ignoring problems, but take charge and really make good choices. So we're front-loading them with information so they can have better choices, broadening their worldview, and also developing their critical thinking skills. The month of October, we focused on voting, and we gave them all voter registration cards. We took them to have coffee with League City Mayor. We went to Texas City. We had lunch with a councilman in Santa Fe. We've had our Mayor Julie Masters come into our classroom. So they're learning all the different types of city around them. And that voting on a local level is so important.
Which Santa Fe councilman was it?
Fidencio Leja.
Yeah.
He's really fun.
Yeah, he is.
Kids loved him.
We've had him in studio before. He was voted in because he also has an insurance company, I believe. And then I've been talking to him because they're having an event in Santa Fe, I think next Saturday, that is like a family event. And I'm trying to get him in studio next Tuesday, I believe, if I remember. But yes, him and Ivy Hoke, and then the mayor, Jason Tabor. I feel like they're doing some great things for our area in Santa Fe.
Definitely.
You mentioned that there are 26 seniors accepted into that program. Did they have to apply? Were they selected? How did they get into the higher up?
They lucked out. Really, they were just chosen. They're in another classroom, and the classroom is sharing their 2 days a week with us. So these kids, they kind of just fell into it.
Yeah.
And they're really excited. The one thing that they really enjoy is that when we go on trips, and we go on a lot of great trips, they don't get to go on the yucky school bus, which they call the yellow banana. That's not what it was called when I was a kid, but we go on charter buses. So
okay, yeah.
Wow, this is nice. But we're really wanting to make them feel good about themselves. We took them shopping for professional dress wear.
Cool.
We want them to have the tools, and we're teaching them how to start from here. Like, it's the start of your adult life. Society says you're 18 and that you're an adult. Let's give you the skills, because many people at 18 don't have any of those skills.
Yeah. Whenever you were in Chicago, like in the school system, were these things that were focused on?
Oh, gosh. I went to Catholic school. No, my school closed down. Catholic schools in Chicago, and I'm not a representative of any of those schools. I'm just an alumni. But my school closed down because of funding.
Yeah.
But we were always really behind the curve. Like, for instance, in high school, we still had Apple IIe computers. Do you remember those?
Yeah.
The really loud, clicky ones. Like, that's what we had. So, no, a lot of things weren't taught. I went to Catholic schools because the public schools weren't as safe. So it was the trade-off. Like, you get a better education in public school, but it was a little more safer.
Safety.
Yeah, absolutely.
So yeah, it's important to have both, as much as possible. But as a parent, you always got to make the decision to what's in the best interest of your kids and your family.
Definitely.
So whenever you came to Texas and started having children, how many kids do you have? Is it just the one and expecting?
This one coming up.
So you said she's 4.5?
Yes.
So has she started in any kind of school yet?
She's in daycare. She's at Primrose in Clear Lake.
Yeah.
And we absolutely love it. In fact, at her first school, which we'll go and name, she was kicked out. She's a spirited child, strong-willed, and an Aries to a T. So, Yeah, I love that, and I'm never going to dim that spark in her, even though some days it challenges me, and you know how that goes. But she's very smart, so I want to maintain that attitude she has.
Yeah. Why did you see or feel that it was necessary to start a program like this? I understand that, I'm trying to think back into school. There were things that now I look back on, I'm like, oh yeah, they should have done these things. But what is it that made you just get up and be like, this needs to start now?
Well, it wasn't me who started it. I'm the founding executive director, but the two founders, Rick and Tony, they had a conversation one day and said, there's career fields that are severely unmet with talented and skilled people. And there's also a lack in skills. People are they lack life skills right now. And then also a value system. Values are being minimized and just kind of washed away. So our classroom is a core value-based room. The name higher up, in fact, stands for our values, which is honesty, integrity, grit, hopefulness, eagerness, and readiness. And every month we focus on one of those values and what it means. What it means for me, what it means for you, totally different things.
Right.
But we want to have those conversations so kids can own these and bring them into their lives and apply them. Because if you can have a values-based system in your life, boy, that'll really set your trajectory and your career path and just who you are as a person. So, anywho, the two founders, they said, we want people to have satisfying careers and needed careers because really that'll break young people out of poverty and have a trickle effect into their homes, their families, their siblings, their friends, their communities. So we just developed the program together, wrote the curriculum, and started it. We are 11 weeks old, and it's been very successful.
So it is a pilot program. So the hope is that it'll eventually go to other schools within Dickinson or other school districts as well?
We'd like to work through Galveston County. It's a senior program for seniors in high school. So we'd like to grow at Dickinson High School, but for future go into other schools. So this year we've partnered with University of Houston Clear Lake, and they're helping us collect our data so we have really good benchmarks to see, are we being successful? Yeah. When I tell people what we're doing, oh my gosh, that is a needed program. That's a lot of fun. That's great. And when I have the kids do their assessments, to me, wow, they're doing great. They're improving, but we need real metrics. So they're helping us gather that data.
Yeah. So far the kids have been pretty excited about it, like the things they're learning?
Absolutely. So with the voting module, I asked them, a pre-test and a post-test. And I said, why do you feel it's important to vote? And some of the answers were, I don't want to vote. I have to vote. I don't know. At the end of the month, their answers were, it's my voice. I don't want people in office that don't reflect my values or things I stand for. Major change. And that was at development of critical thinking. We give them questions like, would you vote for your friend who's unskilled, or would you vote for the incumbent and who has skills? And everybody had different answers, and there was no right answer. It was how they derived their answers.
Yeah. So with Rick and Tony being, the founders, are they from this area?
Tony's in Houston. Rick is Clear Lake area. But they're two great people who said, we're ready to leave a legacy and to really make things change. You can pour money at a problem, and when you see a situation of poverty, you can put money in. But if you're not changing thought processes and throwing in skills and new experiences, it's not a long-lasting effect.
Yeah.
So that's where the idea of everything came from. Higher Up is a second-part program, which will begin when the kids graduate, and we will be having them go into career pipelines. So we'll have careers in nursing, which has a huge need. We partnered with HCA Hospital, Clear Lake. We'll be working with getting kids into the auto tech field, just different unique areas that have a need. And these kids can be employable right away. We're going to support them with their education and mentorship and getting them the jobs and getting them correctly put into their fields.
All right. Wow. So you mentioned voting. Can we talk on another one of the, one of the things that y'all are teaching as well?
Sure. This month is culture. It's different perspectives and embracing cultural differences. So yesterday was the start of the November module, and I had them watch commercials that were advertising mistakes. because people didn't bother to translate correctly or consult with someone in another country. Hey, does this translate? So they thought it was funny, but I was introducing the concept of ethnocentrism to them, that it doesn't mean you're a bad person, but let's think about other cultures. And, we're not always right, but let's learn about others, because that's really fundamental to work in the real world.
Yeah.
Especially in Houston, Texas, where there's so much diversity.
It's very diverse. Mm-hmm. Do you think it would benefit to even start this kind of programming earlier? Like, these are seniors, there's 26 seniors, but would it benefit as well to be even like in junior high?
Oh, gosh, absolutely. Right now, we're looking at scalability and just getting them right, like front-loaded with the information and the skills while it's still fresh in their minds. Because we will be continuing with the kids. It's a 3 to 4 year program for the kids that we have. So, we're getting them right at the end. And, a lot of programs end at 18 years old or when you graduate high school, but we're staying with them.
Yeah.
So that's why it's a good segue for us for scalability.
One thing that I like that high schools are doing now are partnering with the colleges to be able to get them, a degree of some kind, associates or a certificate or training to go into cosmetology. I don't know if those things were as available, whenever I was in high school, or they are just, more popular now. But either way, I think it's great, because those are like real life skills, and what you're bringing with higher up is the same.
Absolutely.
Like, like taxes or W-2, W-4, like, I don't know what's going on here. Like, and I'm not trying to do what's wrong, but
you just don't know.
I don't know what's right.
Absolutely. And what we want to do is, like I said, we're really, a real passion is breaking the poverty cycle. And, your parents, maybe they don't have the right skill. They have survival skills. Mm-hmm. So going to the payday loan place, that's a survival skill. You have your rent paid. Okay. But now you have major interest you're having to pay. You can never get out of that hole. So we're teaching kids about delayed gratification and just, we want them to embrace who they are and love where they're coming from and take those experiences. But let's give you a little bit more skill set so you don't make mistakes, so you can be successful. Yeah.
Is our area, breaking that poverty, a mentality or a cycle, is Galveston County, what does it look like? I'm sure y'all have looked at like the metrics or statistics and stuff. Like, is there a lot of poverty here? Mm-hmm. There is.
It's scattered about, sure. I worked for another nonprofit, a youth serving organization for 10 years prior to here, and it served Clear Creek and Dickinson ISD. And you think, wow, Clear Creek, and the school I worked at was down the road from NASA. These kids, they were so low socioeconomic. The population was huge, that it's right there, but if you're not familiar with it, or you just, it's an apartment, it's not a big deal. Well, there's many families living in one apartment, and homelessness looks a lot different than, someone living under a bridge. You have so much homelessness that's running rampant in these areas that it's well hidden.
Yeah. You mentioned a school you were working at. So what role were you in before in this one, or are you still in another role as well?
No, so I worked for Communities and Schools for 10 years.
Okay.
Love the organization. And I worked at an elementary school providing the services for 5 years. So those kids, gosh, nothing makes you feel older than working in a school, because the kids I had are like graduating and are adults now, and I had them in like elementary school. I run into them and I'm like, facial hair? What happened to your voice? You're like a man. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
But it was great. But to understand the families and their struggles and hurdles that they were experiencing, but being able to support them, and not just here's a bag of food, but let's talk about what's happening. Why are you in need? And getting them job support and things to really have a paradigm shift in their homes.
Yeah.
So I've always worked the nonprofit sector.
Cool. I know Kayla with the chamber just went into a role at Communities.
She took my job.
I was wondering. That's what I was like, okay, the timeline kind of works out there.
Yes. So I was the resource development director for 5 years after that, and I did all the fundraising and the marketing and all that stuff. Basically the hustler for the organization.
Cool.
If people saw me, they're like, oh, Hillary's going to ask me for something.
Well, that's cool. Seems like it's going to be a fun job, because you never know what you're going to get into, I suppose. But if there were some steps, some cycles steps to break like any cycles of poverty or, set, a kid on the right path. Is it as easy as like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5? Is there a way that y'all kind of go about it?
In my previous work, everybody's individual. Everybody's circumstances are different. And really a lot of that comes from the culture of poverty. By first glance, you see a kid wearing a pair of Jordans and their mom has a Coach purse or something. And you're like, oh, they're not poor. They don't need help. What are they doing getting services? Well, as we know with poverty, it's kind of the street cred, like what people can see on the outside. That's what matters. Versus, okay, when you go to their house, there's no furniture, there's no food. The kid has horrible teeth because you can't see that stuff, and that's very valuable to people is what the look is. So that's the first thing, understanding poverty, but then going individual, why people are in the situations they're in. Is it generational? Is it circumstantial? That kind of thing.
Right now it's 10:20. This is KHEARadio.com, 99.5 FM. Hanging out, talking to Hillary Graham with Higher Up Texas. It's a pilot program taking place in Dickinson High School. 26 seniors, and I'm guessing they're from all different kind of walks of life, and coming together to be able to learn and just make sure that, I guess, you're prepared. 18 years old, they always say that, at 18, life comes at you quick. Like even now, like I look back and it's like, well, I graduated not that long ago, but it kind of goes by quick. And then when you're 18, you're an adult. Go. Yeah.
And especially when society's telling you need to go get a 4-year degree. Well, we found that people are in a lot of debt and they're not employable. They're not making what they expected, or there's just not enough jobs for the skills that they went to school for. So the other thing is job satisfaction. I've witnessed in my adult life friends that went to school for one profession, they do it for 2 years and hate it. Yeah. So what we do, we're doing job shadowing. Lauren at the Texas City Lamarck Chamber, she's amazing. The young professionals have partnered with our organization, and so our students will be job shadowing in their dream job. So every month we ask what's the career you want to do. So we're tracking it, and then in March we'll have a really good idea so they can test drive the job, because we don't want them to get in debt, and we're providing scholarship help. We want to make a good investment for not just our organization, but for them and the longevity of their careers and whatnot.
Yeah. What has the support been for Higher Up? Well, you mentioned, Lauren and the chamber, and you even said, like, hey, Lauren said you should reach out to KHEA.
Yeah.
Has there been a lot of good, support?
Absolutely. When we share what we're doing, people are like, oh my gosh, how do I help? That's really interesting. Okay. Because it's a different approach. It's not, here's, I'm just giving you these items, and that's helpful too. But this is let's think a little differently. Our tagline, think first, then act. But that's so true. We're creating people who are thinkers and doers. And with that, think of the world of opportunity they have. We want them to be proactive and not reactive. Don't dig yourself out of debt. Let's not get into debt in the first place.
Right.
And the kids are just in the 11 weeks, and I call it my infant, but in the 11 weeks we've been in the program, these kids, they're embracing and really understanding what those terms mean, and they didn't know what a lot of that stuff was when we first started.
All right, we're going to take a quick break on the FM. We're going to keep it going on Facebook. If you're watching on Facebook, you have any questions, thoughts, feel free to let us know. This is KHEA Radio, 99.5 FM. Where you mentioned where you went to school. What did you go to school for?
Marketing for my undergrad, and then I went to University of Houston Clear Lake for cross-cultural studies for my master's.
Cool.
So I'm the culture police in my house.
Okay. So what does that mean though? Like what?
Cross-cultural studies? Well, when I first moved to Texas, I had my very first job. Higher Up is my third organization I've worked for in 14 years. It's a pretty good track record. But I thought, one day I want to manage people and I need to learn how to understand people. So that's when I found the cross-cultural studies program, and I learned all about everything from immigration to different religions, and it was great. And that's when I learned about critical thinking. I didn't learn about critical thinking until my master's degree, so we're teaching kids that now so they have that skill.
Yeah, if you had to explain critical thinking in, like 3 sentences, what is it?
Really thinking first before you act.
Yeah.
And asking yourself hard questions. Who does this harm? Who does this benefit? What's the motivation? Looking at things in a different way. So the kids are not used to answering questions in that way or when they're given a situation. But it's just like a muscle working out at the gym. It's awkward and hard at first. And we have a paper with all different questions that they have to look at when they're answering one of our big questions. But they're getting used to it now.
Yeah. Should you use that for, even small decisions or for big things or just everything?
Sure.
Yeah.
We go through so many decisions, hundreds a day. There's so much decision fatigue in life.
Mm-hmm.
But if we can just get into somebody else's shoes for a second in that split second, and not just think about ourselves all the time, I think decisions would be better and long lasting for positive consequences versus negative consequences.
Mm-hmm. Interesting. I agree. No, I agree. And you always, think before you speak. Parents told me that growing up, and you hear it a lot. And I tell that to my son and my daughter now, but it kind of sounds cliche, but just thinking about others, it's very important. Like, how does this affect anybody? Like, my son's birthday is coming up next weekend, and there's the Birthday Joy program. Anthony, who is in, they throw birthday parties. Well, he bought some party supplies for kids who are living in foster care and different things. And so I'm like, hey, what do you want for your birthday? So he tells me. I'm like, okay, what do you want to get, some of the kids, for their birthday? And he was like, I don't know if I want to do that. I was like, what? And so I'm trying to explain to him, you got to think outside of, yourself. It's your duty.
Absolutely.
There's a lot of things that we can do to help give back.
Absolutely. My little girl, her birthday's in April, and we've already been talking about her birthday party's going to be at the new League City Animal Shelter.
Mm-hmm.
They have a party room, and it's being built at the back of our neighborhood. So her birthday party's going to be there, and kids are going to bring gifts for the animal shelter.
That's cool.
She doesn't need any more tchotchkes or plastic
Yeah.
LOL surprise. Oh, any of that stuff.
Well, you mentioned you're a minimalist, right?
Yeah, aspiring.
Aspiring. Have you always been aspiring? Have you always been kind of down that route?
I didn't know what it was. I always had this hankering when I was a kid to throw things away and get rid of things and clean and organize. But my mom, she's a collector and an antique dealer. She would go in the trash and bring that stuff back in the house.
Right.
And it would give me a lot of anxiety. So when I was pregnant with Millie, I had 7 baby showers. Too many. I'm grateful for every single one.
Of course.
That was a lot of stuff.
That's a lot of baby showers.
A lot. And the stuff was just making me itch. Why do I have so much stuff? And I just stumbled across a Facebook group, Minimalism and Motherhood, when Millie was 6 months old, and haven't looked back. It's been a journey, and it's really just brought a lot of value to our lives.
Mm-hmm. That's hard. I don't like to throw stuff away. I have T-shirts from high school, maybe even elementary school, and I'm like, well, this may fit me again one day, or maybe I'll make a T-shirt quilt, or maybe I'll do this. I can sew, right?
Yeah.
And so my wife actually was going through, we call it the seasonal closet, but we have stairs in our house, and there's underneath the stairs a little closet. And so my son we'll keep some stuff in there, like decorations for Thanksgiving, Christmas. And I have, before I got married, stuff that I had moved with in a bag. My wife was like, can I throw this stuff away? I was like, I don't know what's in there. I haven't touched it in 8 years or however long, but let me go through it first, just in case. And
in case. So just in case is the really funny thing with minimalism.
Right.
Is that just in case never happens. And when it does, replace that item with the 20/20 rule. If you can replace it in 20 minutes and for less than $20, get rid of it. Don't store it, because think about the rent or the mortgage you're paying on that item to just have it in your house.
Just hanging out there.
Yeah.
I also keep boxes of electronics, the stuff that it came in. So I have monitors, speaker monitors at my house, recording gear, music stuff. And it's well, if I sell this and, maybe one day, or it's just nice to have the box because you can put it back in. Because I bought stuff, and it kind of means more. It's hey, nice. You still have the box. You took care of this,
right.
So that kind of stuff.
My husband, too, he has a bag of the cords, and I let him, because one of the minimalism things is don't get rid of other people's things. Just set the example, whatever. But my husband, he does have my Ethernet cord from my college dorm when I was a freshman. I didn't know him yet. I don't
Is
know
it
how
long?
He has it. Yes, and it's blue.
There you go.
It was $8. If you wanted internet, you had to use this cord, and
yeah.
And we still have it. I I don't know why, but he's an engineer. So
okay.
if there's a purpose for it, again, he will find a way. So he lets me have 3 cats, so I'll let him have his bag of cords.
There you go. Does your daughter lean more towards the engineer side or, your side?
Both. She's a mix. She's very smart and, questions everything. I'm not that way. I'm like, okay. I mean, I am, but we go by a construction site, and when she was very little, is that a backhoe? Is that like she knows all the things, and I'm like, I don't know what that is,
Yeah.
But my husband speaks to her very technically, and so she is very curious.
That's
about
cool.
things, but she's very, as I mentioned, strong-willed and spunky and outspoken. So she's like me. In
Yeah.
a lot of ways.
That's good. The mixture is always fun.
Uh-huh.
And then when you see yourself and your kids, you're like, why are you that? Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's me. It's for me.
Yep, that's my side, and it's when you're a kid and you're doing something naughty, and your parent says, "I hope when you have a kid that they're just as bad as you." And oh boy, I heard that a lot as a teenager, and so now I see it in my daughter at like 4, and I'm like, oh my gosh. And my husband's like, "What did you do as a kid to have this behavior?" Because
That's
she's
funny.
challenging, yeah.
That's funny. I used to be a technician for the telephone company, and anytime that you would do any work with somebody, in that Clear Lake area, I'm like, you work at NASA, don't you? Like you're an engineer, because they need to know, they want to know, and they have to know exactly everything that's changed, how it's run, how it works,
Yeah.
and they understand it by the time. But you're just like, so what you doing? But you can always tell.
It's very smart people, and Paul and I, we are very different. We are complete opposites, and I have to admit this. When I first moved to Texas, he would work a lot of night shifts because astronauts are always in space from the space station. I thought people were still on the moon, and I was like, oh, I looked at the moon and thought about your astronauts. He's like, astronauts don't go to the moon. It hasn't happened in forever. And I'm like, what? So I had to poll my friends because I was like, I can't be the only person who thinks astronauts.
Who doesn't know this? Yeah. Aren't they supposed to go back like in the next 5 years or so?
Mm-hmm.
And there's going to be ladies? I think it's like an all-female crew.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah. Very exciting things at NASA. A lot of great minds there. So Paul teaches me so much about space.
Yeah. Interesting. Well, there's a lot. Yeah, they take obviously the best of the best, and people move from all over the world to go and work right here.
Yep.
I also feel, especially when like the lunar celebration for the 50 years, the moon landing happened, sometimes we forget, how cool it is that we have this here. We can go, tour the museum and everything else.
It's the original NASA or Mission Control Center is a Smithsonian institution, and there it is. Or that's huge, and it's right there, and we take it for granted driving by it. And I remember when Paul first started working, he said he blogged on not LiveJournal, Zanga, one of those
Zanga,
old school blogs, and Paul blogging. But I remember him writing about that he had a childhood dream come true when he put the loops, like he wore his headset for the first time.
Oh, yeah.
That's a really big deal. And now it's like, the headset, big deal, but back in the day, it was a very big deal.
That's cool.
Mm-hmm.
Being in this area for, you said 14 years, right?
Mm-hmm.
What, working in the nonprofit, sector, a couple different jobs, what do you like to do for fun? Because there is a lot of cool stuff in our area.
Yeah. So my favorite thing when I'm not pregnant is that's a different life. I'm in a different life. I'm a different person right now. I run marathons, and I run through the group Bay Area Fit.
Mm-hmm.
Love it so much. I miss them. But that was my favorite. That's my favorite thing to do. My other thing, I'm a big sister in the Big Brothers Big Sisters program.
Cool.
I have a little sister, Emily. I've had her for 7 years, and she's 18, so she's an adult and knows everything. But she's a good girl. She goes to Texas City High School, and she's about to go to college. She'll be most likely going to Sam Houston. I'm so proud of her. She's part of our family.
What kind of stuff would y'all do?
All kinds of things. We deliver pet food through Anna Meals on Wheels. So, people that get Meals on Wheels, elderly people and people who are at home based, we deliver their pet food to them once a month. And we have a route in Texas City. So we do that, go out to eat, discuss teenage drama, which, wow, it's a lot different than my
It's alive and well.
Yeah, very. But she's been a part of our family for so long. Every Thanksgiving since we've been matched in the program, I get her every day, every Thanksgiving, and we cook all day long while Paul's at work.
Mm-hmm.
He has to work on Thanksgiving usually. So we have a great family tradition.
That's
That'll be coming
cool.
up soon.
So we do a lot of really cool things and fun things we get to with Galveston County, United Way Galveston County Mainland. And so one of the partnering agencies is the Big Brothers Big Sisters program, and they just moved to Galveston to a brand new facility. It's very nice.
Yes.
And so we were able to go and learn about what they do, and then also meet one of the Big Brothers as we were doing an event at the go-kart track. I'm having trouble trying to recall this, but we had fun. So they came out and we were doing this event, and so they got to come and we got to meet them, and they were having a blast. But that's a great thing.
It's a wonderful program. Emily is my third little in 13 years. My first little, he's a grown man. He's like 27 years old now. His name is Sam, and he was, I feel like we grew up together because I was 22 when we matched, and he was older. He wasn't going to get a match in the program, so my husband and I took on the match, and we were together until he graduated high school, and he works at Target. So everybody knows Sam at Target 646. So if I shared what he looked like, people are like, I know him, because he's so friendly.
Yeah.
But he was our first little, and now ending it with Emily. It's just, you see major life changes and those little nuggets of like wisdom that they roll their eyes at the time.
Yeah.
You see it later on, like, told you.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's such a good program. So shout out to them as well.
Yeah, all the nonprofits are great. That's my favorite part about living in this area is that there are a wealth of nonprofit organizations. And if you can't, maybe working with animals isn't your jam, or kids,
right.
There's seniors, there's land preservation, there's all kinds of stuff.
There's something in the area that you can get involved in that you are passionate about.
Absolutely.
For sure.
And, I'm very, very much, I have a soapbox about how nonprofits even see themselves. And a lot of nonprofits, I hope I get this volunteer. It's, no, where are you volunteering? I don't care if you volunteer with me or this org. People as society need to, it's social responsibility.
Yeah.
You support one another, and it's not just writing a check. It's doing, it's advocating. It's just having the knowledge in your head that problems exist, and when you ignore it, you're part of the problem.
Mm-hmm. Do you get a chance to go back to Chicago often? Do you have family there a lot?
I do. My sister, she's a painter, so I go there often and hang out in the city. My friends live there.
Yeah. Is there a lot of, is there a need for like higher up there, or is there programs there that you've been able to witness? Or
Well, when I left Chicago, I was 18. But Chicago has a great wealth of nonprofits as well.
Mm-hmm.
I think any kind of high school could benefit from a program like Higher Up, because it stays with the kids after they graduate, and it doesn't just drop them off at the front door. Like, you graduated high school, you're an adult now go be productive.
There's the second half, like you mentioned.
Yes. So that's like kind of like a case management piece, is that, and we know not every kid is going to stay in the program. That's just a reality, right?
Mm-hmm.
But the kids that do, they will have a long-lasting impact in their own lives by staying with the program. That's why we have a strong base while they're in the high school program, so that it's an easy bridge and segue into our second half, into the career part.
Yeah. So you also need to partner with businesses and business owners to be able to offer that.
Absolutely. So job shadowing. I have a boy who he said he wanted to be an accountant, and he's brilliant with numbers. And at the Texas City Young Professionals event that we had, we introduced him to an accountant, and he's like, oh no, I don't want to do that. And he said, that sounds boring. And I told him yesterday, I said, what about an IRS field investigator? You get to go to the person's house, look at their mess of taxes and the things that they haven't or have been doing. And he goes, well, do I get to arrest them? I'm like, no, but you can help them with their accounting before they get arrested, because you don't pay your taxes, you go to jail. So you have major consequences. So we're helping them see that it's not just, accounting sitting at a desk. There's other opportunities, but we want them to be fired up about their futures.
Mm-hmm. Cool.
Because the future is now.
Yes.
And we're setting a precedent that we want people to know, future employers, that if a kid has gone through Higher Up Texas, they have a special skill set that their peers do not have.
Mm-hmm. Cool. Hey, let's switch it back real quick, and we'll keep it going. Here we go. Good morning. This is KHEA Radio, 99.5 FM. Right now it is 8:39 a.m. on a Wednesday morning. I have Hillary Graham here in studio. We're talking about Higher Up Texas. It's a pilot program taking place in Dickinson.
Mm-hmm. Go Gators.
All right. Can you remind everybody, so how many kids are currently in this program, and what are they learning whenever they are in it?
We are an 11-week-old program, and there's 26 seniors. And in the program, we're developing critical thinking skills through experiences, people, and new ideas, and then front-loading them with life skills that are pertinent to being an adult, such as paying taxes, voting, social responsibility, future financial goals that they may have. A lot of our kids don't know what a mortgage is because their families don't own homes. They have apartments. So if a kid wants to even think about having a home one day, because to them, that's so out of their realm and reality, because nobody else in their lives own a home. Only those people, those rich people. Well, it's not the case. It's about teaching them delayed gratification. You can achieve these goals if you wait. And so our premise of our program is think first, then act. So don't buy, the clothes that are going to go out of style in about 6 months. Save that money and put it towards your car that you're saving for, that kind of thing.
Yeah. So one thing that happens when a kid turns 18 is like the credit card applications start coming in, and they don't necessarily educate the kids like, hey, well, they know they have to pay this back, but again, it's like, oh, delayed, the delayed gratification.
Oh, they don't think they have to pay them back. Someone shared that they had a $500 limit, and they thought that was $500 for free.
Wow.
Like a gift card. We talked in depth. Amico Federal Credit Union, they came in, and we visited them as well. But we talked about the fine print on the back. In fact, I received a Sephora credit card offer, and on the front it said 15% off your first purchase. And I said, wow, that's pretty exciting. And, you get coupons. But I said, but read it over on the back, and it says 28% interest that starts after 23 days. It's like, how can you ever get ahead with that?
Right.
So, and we told them to avoid when they go to college. You have those tables of people like free T-shirts, free Subway sandwich if you sign up for this credit card.
Yeah.
And I know so many people that fell victim to that when I was in undergrad. And we're telling them, no, stay away. It's just a cheap T-shirt and a $5 foot-long sub. You'll do better without those things.
Yeah.
But we want them to not make mistakes that their parents or their friends have made because they have this new knowledge.
Yeah, and then you're paying it off, 10 years from now, or you never gets paid off. You pay it forever, or you file bankruptcy.
Yep, you carry it with you forever. We had another speaker who was fantastic. She's a blogger, and her name is Malika, and her blog is Mama Lika. I think that's the name of her blog, but she's really good. And she talked to the kids about getting into serious debt. She had a will to go to college, her dream school, but she's also carrying like $152,000 in debt for a master's. So, how is she going to pay that off? And she said, well, I'm going through Dave Ramsey now and in that program, but it planted the seed with the kids like, okay, think about before you take out all the student loans, take out what you can pay for now and the lower interest rates. So we're bringing in people that are giving them real life experiences. We're not reading from a textbook. These are the mistakes that you make. It's, hey, I made that mistake, and you don't have to live with it forever. You can do something about it.
Yeah, and that's really cool. Y'all brought Amico in. I've been banking there. I think I went and met with them the other day, but it was like almost 17 years.
Wow.
I got my first job, and I was like, in high school, and I took the check there, and that's a great institution.
Absolutely. Sean Bailey came in and spoke to our class, and the kids were like, he's the president of the credit union? Yes. And he shared where he came from. We ask all of our speakers, share your background, share a struggle you had, because our young people think that they're the only ones going through this stuff.
Right.
And that they can never break out of the problems they're experiencing because no one gets it.
Yeah.
Or they don't realize what they're going through is difficult times until way later. So we bring in real life people to share what their backgrounds are and what the turning points were.
I know I talk to people at Amico because whenever I got out of, high school and, moving away, and it's like, well, I got to survive. Oh, yeah, I'll take out a credit card. I'll take out another one. And then whenever I realized, man, what's going on? Like I went and talked to the people at Amico, and they helped me get a hold on it. Like, well, put it all together and you'll be able to pay it off. And they helped me, make a realistic goal and get it done and get a handle on everything. So
definitely.
it's neat.
We also had a banker from Texas First Bank, and he taught the kids about scams, what not to fall for. So they're, again, hearing things like, you get the email from,
the prince.
The prince, the oil, air, whatever. And people fall for those. Like, to us, I'm like, it just went to spam. I didn't even see that. And we laugh at it, but obviously people fall for them if you get those emails.
They keep doing them for a reason, I guess.
Yeah. And they even talked about senior scams. Grandma's getting a call from grandson, and it's totally nebulous and vague, and then they're wiring money. So we taught the kids, why don't you educate the people in your life about these things you're learning too?
So what's the final goal, like for Higher Up Texas? Where do you want to see it go in the next several years?
Well, we aspire to grow within Dickinson High School, but to really, it's not about the number of kids we're putting out there experiencing the program. It's the quality of our program. And less is so much more. If these 26 kids make it through and become employable in fields that are satisfying and sustainable for them and break poverty cycles for them and their families, wow, that's success. In future, I'd love to see this. I joke about one day in our Wikipedia, when we're a national nonprofit organization, nonprofit Illinois, nonprofit Louisiana, whatever. Let's be true to staying small first and really about scalability, because, the bigger you grow, you lose part of your messaging and the quality of your work, because you want people as passionate as you are. So we're the three of us, the founders and myself, we're enjoying this experience because the vision is so pure right now of what we want for it to grow and how we're going to set that standard.
Yeah, that's awesome. Are you a fan, being from, Chicago, are you a fan of Chicago sports, and are you a fan of Houston sports? I definitely wanted to touch on this.
Cubs. Okay, I grew up on the north side, Pulaski and Irving Park. Went to so many Cubs and Sox games. My elementary school is down the street, about 5 blocks from Wrigley Field, and I hate the Cubs.
Do you like the White Sox?
I do.
Okay.
I like the White Sox, but I hate the Cubs. It's Cubs fans. I know I'm going to get booed on that, but but I grew up where, in Wrigleyville, you'd see these Cub fans who were just
obnoxious a little bit.
Yes.
So it rooted, towards the other.
Yes. But actually, I like the White Sox because you had to ride the train to get there, versus just a bus to go to Wrigley Field. I'm sorry. And they had fireworks, and I saw a no-hitter when I was 7. So that's why the Sox I like them better. But
that's cool.
But it's not like I live for it. Like, I haven't been to a game in probably 20 years.
Yeah. So, I used to I was living in Nashville at some years ago, and I'll just say it. So I played in a band. I was in a rock band. I was in Nashville, and the manager of my band was from Chicago, and he was a huge White Sox fan. Everybody else in his family was a Cubs fan, and I don't know. It was just weird for him to be the outlier, but he was like, I love the Astros because, the 05 World Series, so he would always hold that, over my head. But, they're in the World Series now. Are you at least rooting for the Astros?
Oh,
now?
I like the Astros. I do enjoy it. We like to go to the games, and it is thrilling. Like, my husband and I, we watch it, now.
Yeah.
But I'm not a huge sports person. My husband, though, on the other hand, he is a big diehard football fan.
For who?
Chicago Bears.
Chicago Bears.
And he does fantasy football. Like, Sundays are for football in our house, and nobody gets to look at the Bears. That's all football. We get NFL Sunday ticket and all that.
That's cool. Well, that's fun. It's always fun.
You mentioned you were in a band. I was in a band.
Really?
I was.
What do you sing? Do you play? What do you do? Or both?
It was a band called the Lunchboxes at my all-girls Catholic high school. There is no Wikipedia, no proof unless it's...
Man, I was writing this down so I could look up the album. But the Lunchboxes.
We were wannabe. Remember the group The Donnas?
Yeah.
Wannabes of them.
Well, that's awesome. What'd you play?
I was the singer. I was the Flava Flav, the front man. And we had a fan club president. I mean, we were totally cheesy and lame, but we got to perform at like every school performance.
That's awesome.
It was so fun. But we did cover songs. We didn't have any own material or anything, but we enjoyed it. And we were in the school yearbooks and stuff.
Yeah, that's cool. When I think of Chicago, I think of Kanye West, who just dropped a new album, and he's been spreading a message that's been ruffling, some feathers every way. But I don't know. That's just what I think of when I think of music. I think of Kanye.
Ah,
Have you had a chance to listen to his album?
No, I have some old stuff. I haven't listened to anything new. I just downloaded a whole bunch of old Sublime music yesterday. So I kind of kick it old school. And I'm a really big New Kids on the Block fan.
Yeah.
My very first concert, 1990 Magic Summer Tour. I was 7 and my sister took me. Saw New Kids on the Block, and I go to their concert every time they come back to Houston.
They were just here this year, right?
And it was terrible. It was a terrible show.
It was?
Yeah, it was horrible. It was, and I'm a critic because, man, those were some expensive tickets, and they were horrible seats because I bought them the second they went on sale, the most expensive ones we could.
Yeah.
The way they formatted the show was weird. We had really bad seats, and we heard the people around us say that they bought those seats for $15 on Groupon, and I'm like,
you gotta be kidding.
These are, really expensive. But then we've lucked out in other times where we had amazing seats where we've been able to touch them. They walk by, there they are. So
yeah.
Yes, I've touched them a few times, held hands with Danny Wood, even though he was not my favorite growing up, but he's inched up there because we've held hands. We had
Well, I see Mark Kovich and his wife Stephanie. They own Furniture Zone over in Dickinson. But Stephanie, that's how I knew that they played here recently because she did a meet and greet, and I know she went with Crystal, which I also know. But that was kind of neat. I was like, oh, they're still touring, doing the thing. That's awesome.
And they are selling out it's packed. But it was funny. This was a really weird concert because they had Salt and Peppa, Naughty by Nature. Then they had Debbie Gibson and Tiffany. So the age range was weird. I didn't grow up with I keep wanting to calling her Debbie, little Debbie. Debbie Gibson, Tiffany. I didn't grow up with that stuff. So when they were singing and stuff, I was like, they're boring. The New Kids was my jam. I was 6 and 7 when they came out. And then when Salt and Peppa played and all, I could relate to that, but it was just too much of an age range, I thought. My friend and I were not most pleased with the concert.
Yeah.
But other shows have been better. But we're still diehard, and we dress up, we get outfits. And
how do you dress?
1 year,
throwback stuff?
Totally. And I got overalls with the one strap up, one strap down, the pacifier. Do you remember when people wore pacifiers? That's
I don't remember that one.
Oh, I wasn't allowed to do that because it was
but
a
they
game
did it.
symbol. Yeah,
okay.
But I totally had my hidden pacifiers. But I found one on eBay, the pacifier light-up necklace, the shoelace hair clip. Man, the big buttons that say New Kids on the Block. eBay
That's
is
awesome.
my jam.
Yeah, very cool.
It makes it more fun. In fact, I went to the New Kids concert one year with a broken ankle. And the Houston Press took a picture of me right away. I thought they were making fun of me.
Yeah.
Because here I am in a wheelchair with and I'm not feeling well. And I'm I didn't want to go. And my friend's we're going to this damn concert. Mm-hmm. And Houston Press took our picture, and Boys to Men, they played with them that concert. They gave me a rose because I was laid up in my wheelchair.
In a wheelchair. Well, that's fun. That's a memory. That's
totally.
Cool.
Every year it's great.
Cool. Hey, is there anything else you'd like to share while you're here today?
Just Higher Up Texas on Facebook. Higher Up Texas. I post about every day what we're doing in our classroom and the evolution of the future workforce. What are they doing? What are their skill sets? What sets them apart from their peers? Because they are a very special group. Not only because they're going through Higher Up Texas, but these kids are brilliant to begin with, and they're all very special. We're just kind of chipping away at what is it that they can do and that they love. We had them go through the Berkman assessment that I don't know if you're familiar with that, but they had to answer all these really weird questions, 300 of them. And when they got the results, they're like, wow, that does describe me. So it gave them some career choices. So we're just broadening their mind of.
How many different options are there? Is there 7 in that? Is that the right thing I'm thinking about? With the Berkman assessment, or what are the results?
Berkman, it tells you your personality strengths. So
yeah.
Introvert, extrovert, that kind of thing. But it says are you someone who wants to work outdoors? Are you a creative person? Are you into social services? And then it gives you different types of work you can do. But the questions were totally weird. And I was like, where are these going? But my results.
Nails it. Yeah.
Completely. Totally spot on.
That's awesome. Well, thank you for hanging out today, Hillary.
Thank you.
Make sure you check out Higher Up Texas. You can search for them on social media. If you want to get involved, feel free to send a message. Give them a call.
Yeah, absolutely. Message us. I'm always there.
All right. This is KHEA Radio, 99.5 FM. Bye, Facebook. Y'all be good. Go Astros.